Hello, selamat datang and welcome to today's video where, as you can see, I've got a nice pan made Chee Cheong, and it's quite thin. I wouldn't say super thin, that depends on your skill. I mean, if you're someone like me, as you can see, I'm not doing that great a job with it, so I am still suffering a bit. But you can get quite thin results with this. So stick with me as we talk through this Chong Fan, which we all love, in a pan. So let's get started with the batter. First off, different batter, as I said. We're doing a different ratio as well. This is 140 grams rice flour that I was just putting in. And then we're going to mix in 200 grams of potato starch, which is, I'm just going to pour in now. Yeah, and this is a different batter, and this is going to be a totally different method. Yeah, there we go, just enough. So to this, I'm going to add 1 liter water, and then I'm going to show you. So I've got 1 liter of water that I'm going to mix in now. Yeah, and what I'm going to do is, after I mix it, obviously I'm not going to show you the whole mixing process, but basically I'm just going to be letting it to sit, and I'm actually preparing the batter the evening before, so I intend to give it about at least almost a 16, is it 16? Something like 16-hour resting period before we start cooking. So I just want to show you before, so this has been sitting for about 1 hour. Before I start taking out or removing the water, I want to show you a little thing I've done. So I basically marked the water level of how much it's gone with 1 liter of water. So I'm just going to top up a bit more water to let the flour rinse more to get the effect much better. And I'm just marking the original level of water so that we can come back to it later, because as I'm going to show you, I'm going to remove the water and then I'm going to just top up as much fresh water as I can, which should give a better effect of making the flour softer. So I just wanted to show you that I put a little tape on, and now we're just going to drain the water without touching the flour as much as we can. Now, as we know how much the original level of water needs to be, we don't need to care about how much water we're removing. It doesn't really matter. And as you can see, I've already started skimming some of the pollutants already. So I'm just going to top up the amount of water as much as you want, and yeah, doesn't really matter. I'm going to stir it up. I'm adjusting and adding more water now, so I'm just going to combine the flour and then let it sit again. So if you see, compared to the original level, it's much higher now. It doesn't really matter, and that's the point why you're marking the original level, as long as you go back to that before you start cooking. Yeah, I will probably be washing the dough once or twice more. I won't show you each time, but just to mention it, that I will be washing the dough a couple more times. And yeah, we'll come back to that. Maybe I'll show you one more, but yeah, I probably just won't, and just skip, and you get to see the magic part too. Okay, so it's been overnight, and this is a kind of early morning. Just want to show you, over the past night I was changing the water about 3 times over the night, every other hour or so. And you can see the water is generally quite clear. If you notice that I changed the container, then you get bonus points or something. So it's more or less show time, so let's get started on it. I'm just going to drain to mark out how much water we drained, so we know how much to add on. So I think I have to plus minus another 10 or 15 ml. You take that into account. But yeah, so I've got roughly plus minus 600 ml that I have to replace. So I know how much, because I need to boil it now. So I'm going to boil fresh water, of course. 600 ml of fresh water. So, yeah, I'm gonna be a bit of a hero and test doing this on my not so non-stick pan, and if it fails, I'm going to take out my non-stick as a, of course, backup or last minute thing to save it. But yeah, this is what we're going to do, and this is our setup. So I've got 600 ml boiling water here. I've been loosening up the dough. So yeah, I'm just pouring it in now. 600 ml of boiling water to put in. Roughly 1 teaspoon. So I'll just go with that. And then yeah, that's roughly 1 teaspoon. I'm going to sieve it a bit before I put in the oil, because wow, if you remember my other batter, wow, this has almost no particles. I mean, 2 tablespoons worth of oil, so let's just go with that. 2 tablespoons, a bit more, yeah. Make sure, the trick here is to make sure that your dough is always stirred before you pour. So that's what we're going to have to make sure and keep an eye on. And then I'm going to get set up now. Oh, so I wasn't recording. Okay, I'll have to show you then again, but this is basically the end of one. I poured a quick batter. My quick summary on the findings was, yeah, you have to try and find the right amount, and that's the tricky part. So, but yeah, we kind of knew that anyway coming to this. Yeah, I'll try and make sure I remember to to record in the future. But yeah, so now we'll try and take this out. Yeah, I mean, in theory I could throw it down, but I want to roll it out anyway. So let's roll it up and see what happens. We need a non-stick pan. Unfortunately, this is not going to work. So yeah, so that failed, but still tasty. So yeah, I'll show you what comes out in a short while. But yeah, general idea, you need a non-stick pan. So we're back. I have my non-stick pan. It's heated up, or heated up long enough. I want to show you this one. It's actually okay. I mean, yeah, like I said, the starch parts obviously didn't release. So yeah, but it became crispy on the pan, funnily enough. So yeah, but I mean, look at the dough. It's generally okay. And again, I have to release the water dough because it's gotten, yeah, a bit too, it's starting to settle as well. So even if you boil it, yeah, you have to be careful with that. So let's go. Let's see the amount that I come with now. Wow. Okay. Now it's not even settling. So that's interesting. Okay. So I'm trying to go with, yeah, I think I need a bit more, because somehow it's not even settling. Yeah, so, okay, now it's setting. I suspect I'm going to end up in a situation with a pour. Yeah, I suspect you will pour, let it set, and then pour out the excess. It's giving me lots of ideas. But, yeah, let me taste. It's very smooth. Very smooth. No issues with the dough. So we're just going to cook this up. Yeah, it's not done yet, so it's formed already. So I will be curious to see if I can keep this one, because I have more experiments coming for this. So maybe let's put it to one side. Let me find some space that I can put it that doesn't involve yeah, I would like to keep it like that up so that it doesn't, yeah, so I'm just going to pour it out like this. Ooh, you can see the dough is quite stretchy. Oops, although I still did manage to get it to tear, but yeah, it's reasonably strong, I would say. Okay, so let's try and do this faster and get this to thread everywhere, and then pour back the leftover. So you need the dough to be, yeah. I'm curious if the Crepe Maker would even work better with this, because I suspect it will. But okay, while I'm doing this, let's get lunch ready. because obviously I've got hungry kids to feed. So I'm going to put in some prawns. I'm going to put in some of this kohlrabi filling that I have. Bonus points if you know which video this is coming from. So that one's done. You can see it by the coming up on the sides. So I'm just going to gently and quickly flip it around like that and make like a, yeah, you know, quick enough flip. So you can see the results. How does it look? Yeah, I mean, I think it's there. I think it works. Is it better than the Crepe Maker though? Yeah, that's the magical question, I think. But we will test the same dough on the Crepe Maker. Yeah, let's just do that question. Yeah, I think it comes down to how much. Yeah, and see, I'm just going that. Yeah, so I'm going with a thinner layer like this. So with the heat, at least I have that already. And this I think will be the primary difference. Yeah, do you have a Crepe Maker pan? An electric one that does that upside down flip, yeah, versus a normal pen, yeah. And of course, if you ask about ease of use for people like me, who's obviously not as talented or as skilled or as agile, then I would say the Crepe Maker will be a much easier way to do it for sure. Yeah, let me get the prawns in for this. So yeah, hands down for beginners, especially people like me, Crepe Maker will be the easiest way to do it. If you are used to your way of doing this already, non-stick pan will work, and you will find that with this dough, yeah, you will get the best of both worlds for sure. So that will be what it came down to, I would say, at the end of the day. But let me roll this and show you this, because on one hand, I don't know. I mean, I'm quite impressed with this dough, because as you can see, it really is quite pliable. It holds itself quite well, and more than that, you can see it is, if you manage it, it can be quite thin. So I'm quite happy with that. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the pour, and that to me, I think, is everything you need to know, because the pour will be at the end of the day the primary difference, because if you practice enough and you get used to the pour, and this will work, no doubt. Yeah. But yeah, we can do some side-by-side comparison with the Crepe Maker. I have it behind me, and I'm actually getting it ready to set up for another video as well. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, there are two similar ways to do the same thing. Yeah, we all want to make it easier. We all want to skip the steaming part, and these methods are a way to achieve that, and will achieve that, because as you can see, the results are good enough that you do not need to steam. Yeah. Oops. On the other hand, they all come with drawbacks. Yeah, and yeah, it's not to say that one is better than the other. It's more what you have access to, and I would say that to think with that in mind. Yeah, what would you like to use up, or what would you like to do? So if you have an electric Crepe Maker like what I do, then the Crepe Maker is the way to go, regardless of the dough. Of course, it's interesting for me to experiment with this dough, and I will be curious, and I'll show you in a short while how the Crepe Maker handles the dough. And that, I suspect, may be the final differentiator. Yeah, so let's just jump that. So I quickly changed my setup, my layout, and I think we are more or less ready. The heat should be ready. I'm going to let it heat up a bit longer, as we remember from the last experiments, or maybe a sneak peek into some of the issues with the last experiments. You need it at the right heat, so let's just do this. Wow. It's reacting. Whoa, it doesn't like the oil. Okay, so this batter doesn't work at all with the Crepe Maker. That's interesting, because I heard about this issue, and I suspect it's down to the flour structure. Because if you remember my crepe videos, you had to boil the thing first, and because you didn't do that, it's not forming enough. And I suspect, yeah, regardless of the heat, it's not a heat issue, it's a batter issue. Let's go back with that. I've got to cool this down. But yeah, I learned a lesson so you didn't have to. So for the crepe maker, yep, this dough is definitely not usable. This is only for you guys with pans. About that. But yeah, let's go back to this, since I have this as my only option. Otherwise the kids are not going to get food. So yeah, let's cook with this and let's come to it. So let's do another one. The pan will have been heated up by now, hot enough. So yeah, the reason why you need a hot enough pan is so that you can basically do a very thin layer, lay it down, wait for it to set, and go. So yeah, the just as with the crepe maker, the heat of the pan is very important. So please keep an eye on that. I'm gonna make a prawn one, this one. So yeah, things that you have to bear in mind. This one, I'm still not able to get a very thin pour, but I suspect it will come with practice. So just keep practicing with that, and just keep doing that. Yeah. If the ones where I poured it thick, they actually complained about it. So I have the best people to judge all of this. But in any case, I think at the end of the day, they are different batters for different things. Yeah, I mean, they all achieve the same results. This one arguably needs more time, but if you have a normal pan and nothing else, then why not? Yeah, it will work. This batter works as a good alternative to that. So I think in that sense, I'm quite happy, because yeah, this proves that you don't need to just go buy a crepe maker if all you want is easy Cheong fun. Yeah, and there's a bit of a tear there. So yeah, I think it's quite the dough is not up to strength at heat. So once it cools down, it seems to be a bit more stretchy. Maybe that's just my opinion, because as you can see, I just caused a bit of a tear on one of them already. But in any case, yeah, it's all good. At the end of the day, it gets into the tummy. That's all that counts. So I'm going to make another one, and same with the amount of heat. Obviously, I'm trying to go with as little butter as I can. So let's see if I can do that. Actually get that. Yep, almost managed to. I missed a spot here, so let's just go with that. Ah, goodness, I'm not going to chase that, otherwise I'm just going to end up with a pancake. You will notice after this that I will be releasing, or I have already in my backlog a bunch of recipes, all using the crepe maker. As I said, yeah, I work with I mean, you should also work with what you have, and if you have access to a crepe maker, definitely for the ease and the results, yeah, I will stand and say that the crepe maker will do better. Yeah, I mean, if you ask me to, that would be my opinion. I'm not going to shy about that. But for a good enough result, without a steamer, it's still easier. Of course, you need more time for the batter to rest, but it's more or less the same, I would say. The only difference is the sieving part, but this pan method with this batter, it will work just as well. So you can do that and have good enough results without needing to buy another equipment. Yeah, so don't feel the pressure that you need to get something just for one dish or one thing or something. But yeah, and I guess that's about it. Maybe I'll make a small conclusion at the end. But yeah, I would say we are fairly there. I will show you some results also in the introduction. But I think for the method with the pan, I think with this batter, you will find a good enough compromise. Yeah, sorry, my brain's a bit slow. I need a cover, and you will be able to get what you want for the best result with a pan. So yeah, I'll come to a short conclusion with this, and I'll say Jemput makan. I'll see you in the next video. As always, like, subscribe, comment, and follow. And yes, thank you very much for watching. So until next time, Jemput makan. See you. Bye.